Our team, our community. This is CondorsTown, and this is another Energy Condors connection. Now, here's Erik Fox and Ryan Holt.
Baytown, once again, every single week, giving you a chance to get on up on all things CondorsTown with your Condors connection. My name is Erik Fox from Energy 95.3. Other side of the screen, a guy who's ready to get a lot of poutine in his system as he's about to head to Canada. That's Ryan Holt from the Bakersfield Condors. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. Yeah, I got my jacket on today. It's good that it's like 65 in Bakersfield. Gets you set for Canada, so it's like, you kind of wean your way into it. You don't
Exactly.
you don't want to just jump in the cold water. You want to just wean your way in.
Yeah, you got to dip your toe in.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's go and do like we always do. We always talk about the parent organization first, and that is your Edmonton Oilers. And let's just be honest, it's been a challenging start to the season so far, and including I think Jay yesterday just had enough where he kind of got ejected from the game. What are you seeing there?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. I think we talked 2 weeks ago, and I said don't hit the panic button. And then, 2 weeks later, here we are. And, it's in kind of a same, or if not, kind of a worse situation. You're behind the eight ball. You have San Jose on Thursday. That has to be a win, I think, at this point of the year. But does it change anything, right? Like, you're supposed to win that game. I think you have to win that one in Seattle on Saturday to kind of feel good about yourself, I think, going into, next week. But yeah, it was, they got off to a great start last night. I mean, like, they were buzzing. I mean, 19 shots, I think, in 4 minutes. Like, I mean, it was kitty bar the door for Vancouver. And Demko came up big and, unfortunately, came back down the other end. And, Vancouver ended up, getting a greasy goal. And then, one probably Stu wants back. And all of a sudden it's 2-1 and, they've got 4 shots. And, I think it's a confidence factor right now. I really do. When you feel, I mean, it's like anything, right? Like, if you're a gambling person, if you're in your workplace, if you're whatever, when things are going right, it feels like nothing can go wrong. And when the flip side happens, when things are going wrong, it feels like nothing can go right. And I think that's where, kind of the Oilers are right now. And, if they're a confident team, if they're playing well, a 2-1 game in the first period, they think, okay, well, we're fine. We'll pick it back up. That's not the case right now.
Right.
And, there's probably more questions than answers. The questions are probably above my pay grade. The answers are certainly above my pay grade. And,
right.
It's something that, we feel here, just from winning, and Jay Woodcroft said this when he was the head coach of the Condors, winning solves everything. It solves it in life. It solves it in ticket sales. It solves it in promotion. It just helps everything. When you win, people want to be around winners. People don't want to be around losers. And that's the nature of the business. And hopefully the winning starts. I think it has to start on Thursday against San Jose. But look at that game. San Jose has zero pressure on them, like none.
Yeah.
The pressure is all on the Oilers. The pressure is so immense. And for San Jose, if they lose the game, they're going to be like, all right, that was great. We stink. We know we stink.
But Oilers, there was like a little article that came out this morning saying like the GM for the Sharks pretty much like went to the players, and it was not a two-way conversation. It was a one-way conversation at them. So do you think there's going to be maybe a little more fire in them as they take on the Oilers, or what are you really seeing for that next game?
Maybe, but they're expected to lose, right? Like they're, if you look at them on paper, if you look at them on whatever, like they're expected to be where they are. Are they expected to be maybe as bad as they've been? Probably not. But that's supposed to be a team that finishes in the bottom 5 in the league. That it's just the way it is. Like, you look at the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals were picked to be the worst team in the league, and lo and behold, they're the worst team in the league. Like, there's a reason for this. And, like it or not, whether they say it or not, nobody likes to lose. But the fact of the matter is San Jose losing helps them. Winning doesn't help them at all. Winning is only going to hurt them.
Gotcha.
Whereas it's the flip side for the Oilers, where they're in the bottom 5 in the league and they're expected to be in the top 5 in the league. So, that's when you run yourself into problems. And hopefully it turns around. It has to turn around, I think, on Thursday. And stuff I think has to change, obviously, for this team. The offense will come around. I'm pretty sure of that. But defensively, they've definitely got to change things up, I think, a little bit to get themselves going.
Do you see any shakeups coming down, or is it kind of just wait right now?
I think it's wait right now because, we talked about the salary cap and things like that. You can't really do too much. You're kind of pot committed unless, something changes. See what happens.
All right, well, let's go and talk about, of course, everything that happens up there affects us down here in Baco.
Yep.
Let's talk about what's going on with us. Rough game against Coachella Valley, a team where we started the season off with a win, which was a nice start to the season, but it just was a very close nail biter, but they topped us out. What were you seeing?
Yeah, physical, hard-fought game. I think anybody that was here was certainly, saw the compete factor, saw the work ethic. That's a very good Coachella Valley team. And the Condors are one of two teams that still have a winning record against them. Calgary being the other one, and Calgary never loses to anybody. So, I thought, not sure Coachella Valley was the better team on Saturday night, but I thought the Condors defended well. I thought they played hard. They realized that the Coachella Valley had the number, but at the end of the day, they're a shot away from tying the game in the third period. And I think that's all you can ask for. When you know that teams get the upper hand on you, it's not your night, but hey, this team is going to fight and tooth the nail and try and tie this hockey game. And I think that's what you saw Saturday. I thought it was a terrific, was it the cleanest thing in the world? No, it wasn't. But, there was a lot of fight and passion. The crowd felt it, I thought. Calvin Picker was terrific between the pipes. And this team's gotten a chance to win each and every night. They've only allowed 7 even strength goals in 6 games. You do that over the course of it's not going to happen, but you do that over the course of a season, and you're going to give yourself a chance to win more often than not. So, are the Condors? The Condors are 4-2 right now through 6 games. Their numbers would tell you they probably should be 5-1. And really feeling good about themselves. 4-2, you still feel good about yourself, but it's a big road trip coming up. These are tough teams in November. We talked about the light schedule. The schedule's going to start picking up here, on this road trip. So a big trip coming up, but it's a good Condors team that's getting a little healthier. Should be healthier on the road trip, and that'll be a big help.
Let's talk about that road trip because both teams in which we got double back-to-backers on, both teams very tough this season, Abbotsford and Calgary. Let's talk about Abbotsford first. What's the matchup looking like?
Yeah, they've already played 11 games. The Condors have played 6. It's crazy how things have happened here early on this year. But, every team's going to get a break at some point. We just happen to get our break to start the season. Abbotsford's a good team. They're well coached, good goaltending. They have enough offensive firepower to beat you. But we saw those, the playoff games last year with them. They're tough. They're hard-nosed. Their NHL club's off to a great start. They're feeling good about themselves. Are they, they played 11 games, so they're at the top of the table just because of games played and points percentage and things like that. The Condors actually have a better record than Abbotsford, even though we're in 8th somehow because we only played 6 games. But I think this is a good test. It's nice having the day off in between against an Abbotsford team. They're a physical, hard team to play against. So having that day off in between to kind of recuperate is big. And, like I said, Condors are going to be in the game, and they're going to have a chance. I'd like to see Bakersfield shoot the puck a little bit more. We've had 2 games where we've had under 20 shots. That's really not Condors brand of hockey.
Right.
We're usually in the high 20s on any given night. But it's going to be a battle. This is a nice little rivalry that we've had with Abbotsford just because we played them in the playoffs twice.
And of course, Calgary, which we'll talk a little more next time we meet up, where you'll be on the other side of the border. But let's talk about that matchup a little early here because that's also going to be quite the slobber knocker for.
They're the standard bearer, right? To beat the champ, to be the champ, you got to beat the champ, and they were regular season champions. They got bounced by Coachella in the second round there last year. You could have picked a coin flip between those 2 teams, but. Dustin Wolf's back. I don't know how Dustin Wolf is in the American Hockey League. I really don't. It's honestly sickening. I think would be the word I'd use. He's 50-10, and he's got a 1.5 goals against average and a 9.5 save. He plays every night. We get him on a back-to-back, so maybe we'll only see him once, which is a benefit. Maybe. Do I think they have as much offensive as they've had in years past? I don't. I think structurally, they're still good. They're still well coached, but they can't be as good as last year. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, they had 50 wins or whatever it was last year. You can't be as good. I don't think so. But there's still, this is a tough test. Like this is a 4-game, 8-day crawl where, 500 is good. 500, you're like, all right, we'll take it. You get 3 out of 4 up there, and you're feeling really good about yourself.
Thursday night, 7 p.m. You're going to be in Abbotsford. People want to check out the game. What do people need to do?
Yeah, AHL TV all week. Thursday night, Saturday night, both games at 7, and then next Tuesday and Wednesday a little earlier at 6 because we're in Calgary. So, it's going to be a fun road trip. The guys are in good spirits. Really impressed with the way the team's kind of handled the light schedule early on, and now this is the test, right? This is when the team comes together, and you kind of, early season, you kind of look at it, and you're going to be looking at this trip, I think, in April, going, hey, you know what? This is a time of the year when we kind of figured it out and came together, and went on the road and really felt going on the road. And these are two tough environments, obviously, being up there in Abbotsford and Calgary, and we'll see what happens.
Next time we connect up, we'll have our first broadcast with you in a hotel room, so we can do the whole hotel room tour and talk about how you're.
I might be in the rink for that one, right?
Oh, nice.
If we do 10 o'clock Tuesday, 11 o'clock, I'll be in the rink. I'll be in the Saddle Dome for you.
Love it. Great acoustics, and of course, getting ready for the Condors to get some more W's on the board. So
for sure.
Look forward to that. Ryan Holt for the Bakersfield Condors. My name is Erik Fox from Energy 95.3. We catch you every single Tuesday, 10 a.m. with your Condors connection right here. We'll see you next week.